We'll call this meeting to order at 7:01. And we'll start with some consent agenda items. That would include the minutes of the September 20th meeting, some personnel items, or some co-curricular I would look for a motion to approve the minutes from the September 20th meeting and the consent agenda items.
I so move.
Arlen?
I can second that.
Bruce? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. We've got some personnel items unnecessary for vote. Angie, do we have anything in the way of public comments this evening?
We have not received any written comments. I would like to at this time invite members of the public if they'd like to make a public appearance by speaking to the board, please utilize the Q&A portion found at the bottom of your Zoom window. In the Q&A, we would ask that you type your name, address, subject of interest, and whether you have discussed this item prior to the meeting with either a district administrator or President Howery. After submitting the information, I would then transfer you over to speak to the board. Right. This is your opportunity to enter. If you'd like to give that maybe.
Okay, thank you very much, Angie. That brings us to the district administrator's report. I believe Mr. Mahoney is online, so Jeff, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, I like the first item, and the second items and the third item aren't too difficult at all. But School Board Appreciation Week is October 3rd through the 9th. So I think we can certainly all give you a round of applause for job well done and very entertaining times. So you get to celebrate the whole week. So carry that right through Saturday, if you may.
Does that mean we have a meeting every night?
No. I mean, we were trying to give you this night off. And then behind you, Angie has brought some things to be able to be taken home.
Thank you.
So thank you for that, Angie.
Thank you, Angie.
Item 5B is our school safety and drill evaluation notifications. Per 118.074 CP, we need to always notify the board of whenever there are any activities related to medical holds or other drills. And so that is just informational. Item 5C is future school board meeting dates. October 6th is the new staff fall dinner at 4 p.m. at Angelo's. October 25th is our 6 p.m. regular meeting with, we'll do a COVID update at that time, seeing as though we have not had an update this month. And our annual meeting will start at 7 p.m. promptly. And then we turn around 1 week later right away for a meeting on November 1st and then one on November 15th. Angie, has anybody joined us for public comment?
No one has joined us for public comment. No one is registered.
Okay. Well, if there's no questions from the board, I think, Craig, you could move on to item 6.
Okay, discussion items, 6A, superintendent search job description review. Who has anything to offer in by way of progress reports or comments on what we've seen so far?
Well, I'd like to thank Angie for collecting the other examples. It's really helpful to see what other people put in their positions, so thank you.
Welcome.
I have to admit that I haven't had the time to go through these with in any sort of detail yet. So if anybody's got anything they'd like to offer in terms of did you see anything piqued your interest from any of the other districts? Or we can table this discussion until.
Can I ask some clarifying questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff, you're probably the best person to answer these. So it looks like the superintendent's job description is in our bylaws, correct?
Yes.
And then there's the position description, which it looks like some school districts actually use the bylaws for their position description, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Right. So it looks like we do it a little bit differently. Is that true? Can you describe how we've done it in the past? Like what we do normally put into a job description for superintendent?
The last time this was done it wasn't in bylaws.
It was not in the bylaws?
No, I don't believe so.
You mean the
And
superintendent?
If it was the same one.
Okay. So what we've done in the past, the district has done in the past is have a job description and that's what's used. Do you think there's any, I guess maybe this is then the question for the board, the bylaws are pretty dry and it's really hard to evaluate somebody against the bylaws. I feel like the position description should be what the superintendent's going to be both hired on and evaluated against.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't, I think well, it's not laziness, certainly, it's just, I don't think you're putting in everything into a job description for that position, simply by copy and paste the bylaws for it.
So Jeff, as a district, we could do it almost any way we would like to, it sounds like. Yeah.
Just like with anything else, you are in charge of how it moves forward.
No, that's true, though. I think when Dr. Anderson gets back, we need to sit down and talk to him about how he feels about some of these other districts and how they've gone about it.
I just think what we have right now is a little wordy. Like you said, dry, and there's too much in it. So I think we need to kind of streamline it a little bit more. And some of the examples that Angie pulled together, like the Monona Grove one, for example,
that was the
very
one
straight to the
I
point,
liked
this
that
is
one
what
the
we're
best.
looking
Yeah.
for. And so I think it might be better to make it like that because it's easy to look through. It's easy to see what the goals of the district are and if you're gonna be a fit for that,
Jeff, I was curious, because I know it happens, we do cancel school because of snow, but I didn't see that as one of his things. I kept on going through it. I'm going like, is that something we overlook, or is that, it's got to be in there somewhere else. I mean, it's under something else, but I agree with what you just said, Kate. I thought Monona Grove was just kind of nice and neat. Oregon did put down the legal and put that as well, but I didn't like theirs as much as I liked Monona's.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like the style of Monona's, but Monona Grove, sorry. I felt like there were things missing. Like, one of the things that I think we keep talking about is this person will be responsible for implementing the strategic plan, but that's not in there anywhere. I
didn't see that on any of them.
Yeah, right.
I thought
I wonder, I know that some are.
That's part of the job, though.
I thought there was one that said like a 3 or 5 year.
Okay.
It did
Yeah.
talk about that. I don't remember which one it was.
Maybe I missed it, but
I probably missed it then too. So I'm wondering if maybe, I think it's.
Christine, are you muted?
No. Yes, I am. Sorry. So I'm wondering if it might, I would be happy to take a crack at what we have and organize it more around like Monona Groves, if that would be helpful. And then what I thought we could do is look at the holes that we're missing. Like, what are some of the other things that, there's also currently in ours, there's no mention of addressing inequities or anything
Yeah.
like that. So
No.
I feel like it just needs to be a little bit more current. And I agree with you. It's just, the list is really confusing. It could be organized by personnel, fiscal, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
if you would do that.
Oh, yeah, it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, that'd
that's
be
so-
great.
Yeah. That'd be greatly appreciated, Christine.
So maybe when we get back together, then we're working with a draft and we can look at the
Yep.
holes versus starting from scratch.
I like it.
Yes, and I would think it'd be nice to have Wayne be able to look at your draft too and say, this is something you really do need, or,
Yep.
yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Well, and we're gonna find out, where our staff and teachers are at as well, over the period of the next
Yes.
month or so. at these
Exactly,
listening
to add
sessions.
into
So we
it.
can kind of maybe tie it all together at some point,
Very
first
good.
part of November.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I just don't want to wait till he gets back to talk about it again. I feel like we can make a little bit of movement without making a huge
Sure.
commitment to anything before.
Sure.
Okay.
No, couldn't agree more. Okay. Discussion on board attendance at staff listening sessions, upcoming listening sessions. So we do have all 4 buildings. We do have non-conflicting dates. Given the flexibility of my schedule, I intend to go to all 4 of these. I certainly wouldn't expect everybody to attend all 4, but if there are a date or 2 that you could maybe find your way to attend 1 or 2 of these meetings, I think that'd be very helpful. So what we have over at the primary school, we have Wednesday, October 13th and Friday, October 15th from 3 to 4:30 in their cafeteria. So if anybody could I'll go to the 13th. I'll go to the Wednesday, the 13th one.
Craig, I know I'm going to one of those too, but I cannot for the life of me remember which one I sent an email. I know I have a conflict. I think I'm going on Friday, so that would work even better.
Okay, all right, that'd be
Yes.
fine. The high school is Tuesday in the new Student Learning Center, 3:30.
I think I'll probably be able to go to that one.
Okay. Okay.
I think, so I can make, I'm sorry to jump us back.
No, go
But I
ahead.
can make the October 15th for CEPS.
Good.
Okay,
The MHS one, I think I already have a commitment, unfortunately, for work.
well, I know I think you committed to WIS also, right?
The 20th I
Yeah.
can make.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember why I can't do the 19th.
Any of those gonna be doable for you, Arlen? I know,
I'll look and see, I can get back to you.
yeah, that's fine. If you can find a way to get, I know those times aren't gonna be great with your work schedule. Well, probably none of your work schedules.
I
At the
think
end
if
of
you
the
can
day.
just give it, Craig, I think if each person can just give an update to Angie of their anticipated dates that they can go, then Angie can give the buildings a heads up.
Sure,
Yep.
yep, that'd be fine.
Do you have
Great.
to notice them?
I will be noticing all of them, just so we have
Yep.
that.
I've
Yep.
actually notified each of the principals, so is that okay? Would you
I'll-
rather I notify you too?
Well, we can talk tomorrow and we can just coordinate that, if I
Okay.
don't already have it. I might be
Okay,
able to try.
I'll do it. I'll send you an email.
Oh, no worries.
Generally, I think it's good if a board member is going to attend a function, in a building, that you touch base with the principal, the building principal.
I've done that, but
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah, with Angie for organizational purposes, for sure. I think just, as a matter of good business practice, I think you just let the principal know you're gonna bop in.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Can we talk about the interview questions and the survey, and then how we're going to gather feedback and report back? Just so we're aware of what we're going to be doing.
I do believe we can do that.
Thank you.
Yes. Go ahead.
So I sent some interview questions to Wayne, and I know he's out, so don't expect to hear back from him. I'm wondering if we will or should send those to all the principals and go with that list, or how do you want to handle that?
I think unless you have issue with some or all of the questions, why shouldn't we do it that way?
I think it's fine to send it out to the principals.
The revised list? Okay.
Right.
Okay. I was a little worried about time and how many there were.
Yeah.
I don't know how much an average staff, how many people would be at an average staff meeting. Do you know, Jeff, offhand?
Well, I mean, each building has a certain different amount of staffing, so, I mean, if all the staff showed up, it could be anywhere between 60 and 80.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. I read your message that it's generally accepted that something less than that is, what you can comfortably get to over the space of time that we're gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
And 17 or 18 questions, I doubt that we would get through them. Right?
Right. So the other thought is redoing the survey to have those questions be the questions as well. And the reason why that would be important is because if there's going to be, say, 60 people there, not all of them are going to be able to speak, and not everyone will want to speak.
Right.
So we need to offer them that opportunity as well. So it sounds like a couple of things need to happen. One is sending the administrators the new questions, getting the new questions into the survey. And then I guess the third thing is for us to discuss how we're going to collect information and report back.
And how fast do we need to get this done?
By the
So-
13th, just before the first one.
Christine,
Yeah.
so first for clarification, does Angie have the new questions?
Angie does not have new questions.
It was 4 and 4, am I right?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
I think
I think they were just sent basically to us and to,
to Wayne.
To Wayne.
Okay. I think I was waiting to hear back what people thought of them before we officially made them official. So go ahead and send them to Angie. Is that what you're asking, Jeff? Okay.
Yes, I think, again, for making sure that we have one point of contact through the superintendent's office is so that the information's flowing to Angie, and that way we can make sure then the buildings have, and then they can go through the process of, they're using their staff meetings, so they'll be the ones, Christine, leading the meetings. And that way, and then they'll be also having people that be recording responses as well, so that information can come back in. So for the board members, these are, a listening so that you can hear from the staff, and then the staff also know that you're there as well.
so who will do that recording, Jeff? Is that,
The buildings will assign someone.
okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, I was just curious, I mean, there was a part of me, I kind of agree with what you were saying. I think there is a certain redundancy in some of the questions. I think we could have eliminated some of that long list. I think we had, 16 or something like that. And my only question is, would it be good to have the staff look at questions and then fill out the survey, or do you fill out the survey, and how are we gonna do that? I mean, there's a part of me goes, there's something good about hearing people's thoughts as they go through. Lots of time I go like, oh, I hadn't thought of that, and that enters my thinking. Or are you better off going kind of almost blind and saying, each of you fill it out what you have, and then we'll try to sort that out. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I wasn't quite sure how you want to.
I think I hear you, but that if we have them fill it out there, hard copy, there's a couple of things. I mean, it's good, but then someone's going to have to take all that information and enter it.
Yeah.
And it defeats the purpose of the listening session.
Okay.
I think we need both. We
Okay.
need the ability to hear for the listening session, but because of the numbers, you're not going to hear from everybody.
Yeah.
So
What
people,
order would you do it in?
pardon?
That's what
order would you do it
that's
in?
what I was
Would you do
asking.
the survey before the listening sessions, or?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Craig. Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to do the survey after the listening sessions, would it? Because the questions.
I think the plan is that the survey was gonna be coming out after the listening sessions,
Okay.
which I think would be helpful as it would generate, there'd be more conversation generated, and then having people think and hear other folks, I think will lead to more individuals wanting to respond to the survey. Specifically, if they don't hear what they wanted to hear, they might bring up more topics or thoughts in a survey after all of the listening sessions.
And I was wondering, Jeff, if it would make sense to send that longer list even out to them, let's say on the Friday before this meeting, hopefully that someone over the weekend might be able to look at it and give it some thought before they even have that meeting. I don't know, and then your survey could be a shorter thing, and you'd have the discussion about what was going on. And typically you're gonna have probably a third of them will have really looked at it, a third are clueless, and a third are somewhere where I kind of heard about it and talked about it. That to me would be, does that make sense?
The principals can confirm this, but I believe at least with one of the buildings, I believe that the questions have already been sent to staff
Yeah.
with the communications. So just want to offer that information.
Thank you.
All right.
So then maybe we should send it to all of
If
us.
that's the case, we probably should send it to all of them, shouldn't we?
But the survey itself is a different thing, and that's the thing that you're talking about, you were actually thinking it would be in the listening session, though.
No, the survey that was drafted using, looks like it might be Qualtrics or some other survey tool. So everyone could get a link and go in and fill it out. Which doing it electronically is easier because then it's all the
Yep.
data already in there and somebody doesn't have to enter all that data.
Right.
So I think, I don't mind I think doing that after the listening sessions is fine. I don't have any problem with that.
Okay.
I am concerned, though, that there's no way they're gonna get through those 16 questions, that it is too long. So if we want to have them answer, you always put the questions you want answered up front, especially in a big group like that. But I think if we can pare it down to
That's
at
a good
least
idea.
8, then maybe we can hear about all 8, if we're lucky.
Or at least get it in an order where if we do fall short of getting to all of them, we will have gotten to the ones that were most important to us.
Right, and right now, the superintendent search is first and strategic is second, which is
Yep,
strategic, no pun intended, because the superintendent search is happening now.
yep.
But I know that if you're ranging 50 minutes to an hour, if you think about it, 8 questions, that's 6 minutes a question, so it's gonna be taken up if anyone's gonna talk at all, so. Okay, all right, well, we will definitely get you the list. If you don't mind sharing that with the administrators, that would be great. It's just kind of a reordering and reorganizing of the longer list, so there's no harm in having that list out there. But I would feel horrible making an administrator try to get to all 17 in 50 minutes.
Right.
It'd be hard.
Yeah.
And I think, part of this too is, I think we need to think about confidentiality. Some people are not comfortable talking out loud.
Right, totally agree.
The other thing is, some people aren't comfortable talking out loud. Clearly, I'm not one of them. But some people would like the opportunity to put them in a survey versus saying it out loud. So I
Absolutely.
think the 2 options will work really well.
Yep.
And once again, Jeff, I don't care about if you want to do it after the listening, that sounds great.
Time-wise, that's probably the most logical way to do it. Yeah, that's fine. Anything else?
Are we just gonna collect notes? It sounds like notes are going to be taken that night, and then we'll
And
just
then I
bring.
think we come together.
Yep.
Mhm.
Look at all the notes and discuss.
Yeah, okay.
Get it down to a manageable kind of, this is what we're hearing sort of thing.
And that being the 25th, at that board meeting at 6 o'clock. Yes?
That's our annual meeting and our regular meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only trouble is you do have a meeting that day from 3:45 to 4:30.
I'm thinking that this would be a November 1st.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping. I thought it's awfully rushed. They try to do that by the 25th.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine too. Okay. I would Lauren, are you out there?
She is.
Maybe?
Yep.
Yep. Hi there. Anything at all that you'd like to update us on this week before we adjourn for a couple of weeks?
I do not have anything. No updates from my end today.
Okay, excellent. No news is good news, probably. Thank you very much. In that case, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
Bruce, second?
A second.
Kate, all those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We are adjourned at 7:27. Well done.